My studio is at the bottom of my garden at the end of a lovely wooded valley, and my work is part of my life, so it's nice that it's not separate from my home. And also the garden around and the plants that I try to cultivate sort of contribute to what I make and contribute to what I think about making all the time. Well, my name is Emma West and I'm Emma West Ceramics. I have had my business for 17 years. The business evolved out of my hobby, so it grew from a very small beginning, and so it became a business. I didn't decide, it chose me. My parents moved down to Cornwall in the 1970s and I came with them, and then I went away. Cornwall pulled me back over time because it was such a lovely place to live and work. When I first started doing it full time, it was quite an odd period, because I actually gave up a good job and a career, and I gave up a particular kind of life at the time, which for some of my family and friends I think made them quite anxious. I just really wanted to make it work, and I thought if I change my life sufficiently, then I can. You know, sometimes you have to shift everything in order to have a particular outcome. If you're enthusiastic about something and motivated, you can carry people along with you or convince them somehow that there's some sense in what you're doing. I think probably are quite surprised at how good it's turned out, you know, and how it keeps evolving and moving. I'm inspired by lots of other people's work, artists, makers, anything that's had the intervention of a maker on it. You can feel there's a sort of humanity in it, that somebody's trying to adorn or decorate something. I'm a passive maker, I think. I enjoy being outside and the natural environment. That's why it inspires me, because it's part of what I am, it's part of what we all are. The design process, really, before the making, is to have an idea or to see something that I want to represent. If it's something out there and physical, I can take a photograph of it and then maybe sketch the photograph, and from my sketch I will stitch the process of that design. But it's quite unconscious, the way that I do things, actually. To get the best quality of outcome, I need porcelain that's as fine as possible, strong as possible, so that it will pick up the detail of the embroideries that I do. And increasingly I'm working with very slight differences in texture, like the different textures of thread and of background material. The most challenging thing about making my work, I think it definitely is, in a sense, I'm using the wrong clay to make big tiles. I like to make large-scale pieces, but then they're prone to warping and cracking, which is really difficult to avoid sometimes. But I need the smoothness and sort of strength and the white quality of the porcelain to make my work look as good as possible. So getting that balance between the material and what I want it to do, which isn't strictly the best thing for it to be doing. When I make an impression in the clay and see it for the first time, if it's a new stitching or something like that, that's always really interesting, because I'm waiting for it to tell me whether it's going to be half decent or not. But I can't anticipate that, unfortunately. And frequently I put things to one side and they'll just sit and I won't do anything with them for a year even, until I suddenly think, oh, I know what will make that work now. You know, it's a real kind of processing. But on occasion things work really well first time out, and that's always lovely. If I was making one of my pieces from beginning to end, say as a commission, I would need 6 to 8 weeks probably to see it through the process. I always love packaging up pieces of work, regardless of the size, because it takes acres of bubble wrap and really careful packaging, and then I really like kind of the final layer of brown paper, or even I used to use, or sometimes use nice decorative wallpaper, and it becomes a really nice kind of parcel, and I really like the fact that that's the end of the process. I try to be open to people's suggestions of what I could make for them or might be interested in. When people are kind enough to buy something that I've made, I hope be something that they will appreciate for a long time, that people appreciate the process and the sort of depth, the quality of in the surface texture and stuff that is unique to a lot of what I make, and it's nice if people can kind of keep feeding off that. But the next projects are to develop and build on combining the stitch work, the needlework and the plant impressions, and I've recently been stitching pieces that have left space in the foreground or the background for plant material as well. So, and in my head it looks lovely, but